OPEC's strategy to defend market share over prices appears to be working. That's according to Kuwait's acting oil minister. He spoke to Manas Krani. Take a listen.
The market share theory is a theory that was implemented by OPEC in the last, coming down from 2014. To me, I believe this theory has been working well. Now we see a better prices in the market. I think demand has been increasing. Part of it is the outages of production in Canada, Libya, Nigeria, and the shale oil. It seems that over 3 million barrels per day has been cut already, as per the reports coming out. To maintain 91, 92 million barrels per day, you have to have a strong investments. And it seems that over the last 2 years, 30% of these amounts have been diverted or cancelled. This tells you that demand will be picking up, and this is the forecast everybody's been talking about. So probably we'd see more stabilized markets. Meeting of the June 2nd is coming in OPEC. Yet to have a dialogue on that meeting is very important, and then we can determine our steps forward.
Would you agree that the market is rebalancing? I hear what you say on the demand side. I hear what you say on the capital investment side, pulling out. Would you use the phrase rebalancing? And if so, do you think that rebalances by the end of this year or the first quarter of next year? How soon?
Clearly. Now, some of the outages of production is a temporary thing, of course. So, but it helps the price now. Now, I think the forecast everybody's been talking about heading towards the end of 2016 should be the balancing of markets between demand and supply. It came early only because of these, the fires in Canada and the issues in Nigeria and elsewhere.
To Manas Krani now over in Kuwait. Manas, great to have you with us. Thank you very much for joining us. I guess the first question is, we're spinning forward into June at that OPEC meeting. Expectations for anything to happen there. I listened to that. I don't really see anything.
Strangely enough, John, I think there was a whole sort of conversation leading up to the sit-down afterwards. My complete takeaway is this, that the foundation for a deal in June is there. This man is not for turning unless everybody's on board, i.e. the Iranians get on board, but they want to continue producing. By the way, Kuwait, they want to go from 3 to 4 million barrels, Johnny, over the next couple of years. I think this man is the new oil minister. He's the new finance minister, the new deputy prime minister, John. This man's not for compromising. He wants everybody on board. That's the real sense that I got as I walked away. And really, when it came to the Russians, I find this interesting. He really does like his counterpart in Russia. I'm not so sure whether he trusts that the Russians will stick to the freeze if there is a freeze.
That's interesting. You mentioned the amount of jobs he's got. He's also the chairman of the Sovereign Wealth Fund over there. Talk to me about that. Where's he focused at the moment, Manas?
John, very, very rarely do we actually find out whether the boys are putting in and girls putting in or taking out money. He's doing both. He's balancing. He's going to sell off some assets. But when it came to what are you doing going forward, yes, he stepped back a bit on US equities, but he's going for global infrastructure with global partners. And that's the turnkey phrase. And I love the way sort of a little bit of a bat, I think, at one of the neighbours. We don't go for trophy assets. We go for assets that deliver real growth and real return. I've no idea who he could possibly be referring to, but certainly the KIA, Johnny, $600 billion, number 7 in the world. When they move, markets listen.
A lot of money at play there, Manas. The other question I wanted to ask really is, a lot of these Gulf nations under a terrific amount of economic pressure. They've raised a lot of money over the good times. We're going through the bad times now. I look to Saudi Arabia and the real prospect that potentially they could use IOUs to pay some contractors. You're in Kuwait. What's the situation like there? How's he planning to balance the books?
He says that he will balance the books in 5 years. Johnny, I think you need to look at his background. Go to your Bloomberg, look up his bio. This is a US Northwestern educated man. He is a man that wants to cut to the bone, cut the fat. He wants to do it with a bit of humanity when he's back here in the Gulf. This is a man that has a six-point plan. Yes, he's got a tough parliament to get it through, but he is enacting change, and he intends to balance those books by 2020, and he intends to spend $60 billion over the next 4 years on upstream assets. You know why, Johnny? Because he doesn't want to have the same problems that Europe has. Stagnation, zero inflation, and no way out. There's one message that's clear down here. If you have to balance the books, there's a way to do it over the medium term. I've got to say, the welcome that we have from the Ministry of Oil, this guy is on the ball. 3 ministries in one. I like the guy.
Manus Cranny, getting me to do homework and research your guests. Thank you very much. I'm looking at the commodity market this morning. I've got Brent at 47.85, WTI at 47.32. And a question I want to ask of you, Manus, just very quickly, is this a country, a minister, that's comfortable with crude around $50?
I've never seen anybody as relaxed at $50 in my life. When I said to him, look, what does a freeze mean? Do we get $70? The boys from Abu Dhabi are saying that we've passed low oil, 60, 70 is on the trade. Abu Dhabi's in a better fiscal position than most, John, so that's certainly worth considering. $50 seems to be comfortable. They're happy with that for now. Would a freeze take you to $70? He just would not be drawn. Well, I'll leave you with this. The one thing he did say was the disappointment from Doha didn't take you back below $40. So the question you've got to ask yourself, you're in your corridor bandwidth, 40 bid, 50 offered. When do you break out to 70, or what does it take to break out to 70? We spoke about Trump, we spoke about Brexit. You can catch it all on the best of Bloomberg Markets Middle East. Yes, Johnny, that's why I'm down here.
Manus Cranny. I was told he wasn't just on vacation. Lovely colour too. Manus Cranny from Kuwait. Thank you very much.